Hello, my name is Natalie Radmal and my company is Revival Upcycling. Revival Upcycling solves the dilemma that young college-age women run into when trying to find affordable and trendy clothing. College-age women have a very tight budget because they are college students and they're trying to satisfy all of their other expenses. So fashion often becomes a factor that is left behind, and women struggle to find fashionable clothes that are cheap and fit within their budget. And Revival Upcycling offers this for women. Um, they are fashionable and in trend, so women can feel as if they are still being fashionable and trendy, but with a reasonable price attached to that fashion. My minimum viable product is this pair of jeans right here. Included on the minimum viable product includes distressing on the jeans and embroidered features. And these little embroidered features in this image, they're located on the pocket. However, the embroidered features can also be located on other parts of the jeans. And there's lots of flexibility as to where the embroidery can go on the jeans and the design of the embroidery. The total available market that I narrowed down was 6,952,080 people. And in this, it is inclusive of young women ages 16 to 24 who actively use the Instagram story feature. And the reason that I chose this metric is because women that use the Instagram story feature are often active on Instagram and frequently using Instagram. And that also can indicate that women are looking to other Instagram users who may endorse other products and may be more likely to buy a product from Instagram. I was able to take this and narrow down even further with the target market size of 200,219 women, and these women were located in the United States, but I was able to use this metric to also apply it to the location, which we narrowed down to the Western United States. Some customer segments include Utah females ages 16 to 24, females from Washington ages 16 to 24, and females from Oregon ages 16 to 24. And the reason I chose these is because each of these segments are looking to follow trends closely, and they follow fads closely as well. They're often looking to their friends and social media to ensure that they are, quote, in trend, unquote. As for customer relationships, I have created a get, keep, and grow strategy. To get customers, I plan to advertise with Instagram influencers. These influencers are defined as users on Instagram who have a high following and who often endorse products by other companies and are paid to do so. Many Instagram users look to these influencers to find new products to try and feel as if their opinions are trustworthy because they do have a high following. So this is how I plan to advertise with this target market, because they're extremely receptive to Instagram influencers and are likely to use Instagram frequently. As for keeping our customers, I would like to use referral discounts, and how this would work is if a previous customer refers a new customer, they both receive a discount on their next purchase. And to grow my business, I would like to increase my product offerings with complementary products. And some ideas that I have for this are incorporating graphic tees or hair scrunchies or hair scarves, because these are also in trend and are high margin opportunities. Two key partners that I've narrowed down are Alibaba and Deseret Industries, and these are both two very important suppliers. The reason I chose Deseret Industries is because this is a great way for me to build my inventory without having to wait for the long shipping times from China that will be found by using Alibaba. So when I am making my initial inventory order, I will order from Deseret Industries. I will go purchase those from there first, and at the same time order them from Alibaba. So by the time I filter through my Deseret Industries inventory, I have established inventory with Alibaba and will use that resource from then on out. And the reason I chose to stick with Alibaba instead of Deseret Industries for the long term is that Alibaba offers standardized sizing for my customers as well as lower costs. Key resources are found in 4 categories for my company. These include physical, financial, human, and intellectual resources. Some of my physical resources include the location and my suppliers. The location that I would like to open up first is in the Provo-Orem metropolitan area, and that will be the location of my first brick and mortar store. Along with this, I will also be having an online storefront and will be heavily advertising that as well, so customers who are not in that area can purchase my products still. And suppliers are a very important physical resource because without suppliers, I won't be able to sell any of my products because I won't have inventory. Some financial resources include angel investors, and investors can help me get the funding necessary to cover my startup costs and also help with the working capital costs that come after that. Human resources, I would like to ensure that the culture at my company is a positive work culture that is conducive of creativity and overall job satisfaction. Studies have shown that those who are happy and satisfied with their jobs are more productive and better employees for the company. So I'd really like to ensure that this is established within my company. As for intellectual resources, I would like to have legal contracts with the building that I choose to lease for my brick and mortar store. That way I can protect myself, and the other party is also protected in case issues arise. Legal contracts can also be made with suppliers as well as Instagram influencers or other advertising routes. And later down the road, I would also like to get a trademark on my name and my brand of Revival Upcycling. Key activities include establishing production processes and conducting more customer interviews. I'd like to establish production processes that are extremely standardized and make it easy for anyone to pick up the instructions for the production and know exactly how to do it. This will help my company to be more scalable in the future and able to grow faster. I'd also like to conduct more customer interviews because I want to further hone my product into something that customers truly would be interested in buying. I have a few fixed costs that are going to be my primary costs for the fixed part of it. The first one is rent. I will need to be paying rent every month for my brick and mortar store. And then another fixed cost is my website domain for my online storefront. As for the variable costs, these ones will change as demand changes, so these will include the jeans, the embroidery floss for the jeans and the designs on the jeans, marketing and advertising costs, as well as income tax expenses. Here I have a rough breakdown of how much money I'll be making per unit. The amount of dollars collected per unit will be $36.70. And the sales tax collected per unit will be $1.70. And I averaged the sales tax rates of Oregon, Utah, and Washington to get a rough percentage of 4.85%. The reason that this is lower is because Oregon does not have sales tax. The revenue per unit will be $35. The cost per unit, including labor and all of the direct materials, is about $8, and that leaves my gross profit per unit at $27. And I'm able to maintain a healthy gross margin percentage of $77. A few metrics that are critical to my company include COGS, advertising expenses, revenues, gross margin percentage, and customer retention. It is important for me to keep my cost of goods sold under control so I can ensure that my products are profitable. Advertising expenses are important because I want to ensure that the budgets that are laid out for marketing and advertising are being used to their full extent and that no money is wasted with this. Every dollar is critical for advertising because that is how I'm getting my customers, is through this advertising with Instagram. Revenues are important because I need to make sure that I'm actually selling these and I'm selling them at a point that I can make money. Gross margin percentage, this one is a good big picture option for COGS and revenues and it can help me understand whether my COGS is too high or my revenues are too low. Customer retention is also critical because I need to ensure that I'm retaining my customers, because these customers have the potential to not only buy more products for themselves, but also refer other customers, which can grow my business. My SWOT analysis includes the strength of having individuality and a handcrafted touch with our jeans. Each pair of jeans will be hand sewn with the embroidery and hand distressed. So each jean is individually handcrafted. A weakness of this is differentiating from other boutiques. A lot of these jeans are similar to what other people offer already, and so making sure that we really differentiate ourselves is crucial. It's an awesome opportunity that we have to expand our online storefront. There are already many online stores, which is also a threat, but can be a great advantage to us because many people and customers of our segments are likely to use online storefronts. And the threat of that as well is having to compete with already well-established online retailers and boutiques and going back to the differentiating ourselves from them. Some critical insights from the interviews that I conducted with potential customers included placing the distressing on jeans in different spots. I'd originally had the distressing placed on the thigh, but people found that they didn't necessarily like it on the thigh as much, and so I'll be just doing the distressing on the knees and from the knee down. I will also include embroidered quotes on the jeans, which was a popular request of people. People liked the idea, and they had seen pictures on Pinterest, is what they said, of quotes that were embroidered on the back pant leg on the calf of the jeans. So I would like to incorporate that into my business. And then I'd also like to create standard sizing. And originally when I had made my business model, I had revolved it around buying my jeans from Deseret Industries, and customers weren't really keen to like this idea because they didn't know if they would actually fit them. Just because they order a size 8 from me doesn't mean it's the size 8 that they normally wear from other companies. And so it's important to create standard sizing so most people can buy a pair of jeans from my company that is similar sizing to the sizing at other companies. Feedback from advisors included finding a more reliable sourcing option other than Deseret Industries. And so I was able to do this by using Alibaba as my primary supplier. To make sure my processes are established so the company is scalable is another important factor of this. I need to make sure my processes are as detailed as they can be so I can scale my business much easier. I need to heavily advertise my online storefront so people who don't live in Utah with my first brick and mortar store can still purchase my product. And then the last one is to take full advantage of social media platforms. Some pivots that I made from my original canvas, which have been previously discussed, include using Alibaba instead of Deseret Industries. I also switched my location. At first, I was just limited to Rexburg, Idaho, but I found that I could expand to the western United States and reach a lot more customers. And then the value proposition. Originally, I had offered, I had my value proposition as the jeans being fashionable and cheap as well as eco-friendly, and I found that that was too broad, and I really just needed to narrow it down to being fashionable and cheap. These are the sources that I used to do my market research, as well as other sources that I used to back up my assumptions in my business model canvas. And that concludes the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope you are willing to invest in my company, Revival Upcycling.